Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Both sides of the story. Sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story. Time now for both sides of the story. The story of Jamaicans at home and Jamaicans abroad on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Stay with us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on both sides of the story by calling our local numbers 876 922 4112 to 5. You can listen to both sides of the story on the Power 106 FM app via the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, as well as on onespotmedia.com. Plus, listeners in the USA can dial 631-359-8281 to listen. And if you're in the UK and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, you can call 0330-606-0953. You can watch both sides of the story live on the Dervan Malcolm Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Both Sides 106. Email bothsides106 at live.com. Send your WhatsApp voice notes, all your messages, and text messages to 876 365 3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story. 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 Both sides of the story.
It is Tuesday, the 9th of July, 2024, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to both sides of the story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome. And so, as usual, we look forward to your full participation. After all, it is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Here's a reminder of the numbers to call: 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can call us as well on WhatsApp, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Good afternoon to Valerie Weller Peck. She says, good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, Valerie Weller Peck. Cheryl Chensu says, good afternoon, Professor Malcolm. May your day be blessed. Thank you, Cheryl Chensu. Christina Kelly is also on board. Good to have you on board. Shane O'Connor, Pastor Shane O'Connor. Good afternoon to you too. Christina Kelly says, good day, Sir Malcolm. I'm in Jamaica. And hold on, before that one, Pastor Shane O'Connor says, good afternoon, Dervan. Trust you and family are well. I shared this post just in case you haven't seen this yet. Unfortunate state of affairs. Well, in due course, we'll check for exactly what you're sharing, and we'll see how useful that information is. Also, Christina Kelly says, good day, Sir Malcolm. I'm in Jamaica on holiday, enjoying my vacation. My mom let me watch and listen to your program while we are vacationing. Now, why would she punish you like that, Christina? Anyway, that's a joke. So thank you very much, Christina, for your messages. Thank you for your interest and continuing participation. So those numbers, once again, 876-922-4112 to 5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. So keep those messages coming in, keep those calls coming in, and we'll be more than happy to share. And other information here. All right, faltering. Okay. So this is of an academic nature. And just trying to bring it up here. Just shared with us by Pastor O'Connor. And speaks about faltering academics spurring Calabar standoff. This was published on Monday, the 29th of April. And poor academic performance at Calabar High School appears to be at the center of the impasse between stakeholder groups and the school's administration after fewer than 50% of students attained quality passes in key subjects in last year's Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate CSEC examinations. Over to the school board and the Ministry of Education and Youth to take a look at some of this data and arrive at their respective conclusions. So that's the story that has been shared with us, but it's not new. It was published on the 29th of April, 2024, and there is no time like the present to have those discussions. But if you wish to get them started now, no problem. 876-922-4112-5. And again, the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Let's take that break and come back with more in a moment.
With over 40 years of record service, Lock Safe and Phone Limited is your trusted security provider. Get affordable prices on a wide variety of seals, garage doors, access control supplies, magnetic lock fingerprint for the keypad, card access system, time attendant, door supplies, and exit buttons. Professional services provided. Visit 40 Shortwood Road, Kingston 8. Problem solved with Lock Safe and Phone.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And the text line and the WhatsApp numbers are one and the same, 876 365 3346, 876 365 3346. If you are moved to have some level of participation in the conversations, then so be it. And let's see. So this person is saying, the government has sent to the diaspora a list of urgent items, but I don't believe they will get a red cent. The government has become one of begging. The diaspora eyes have opened, so they will instead send their contributions to their families rather than the government. That's the message. And this one came in yesterday from Neville, otherwise known as Salah, says Dervan, the caller, who said churches need to do more. I don't believe that he understands that the church has been doing a lot. The government, it is who not doing enough. Dervan, a day like today, the government should have tons of foodstuff and materials given to the people who needed the most things, like kerosene stoves and lamps with tin food and tarpaulin for those who lost their roofing. I am very disappointed with the government and their way of handling the aftermath of the hurricane. The government is lackadaisical in the ways they're doing things. I expected was to see the government getting out to the communities with tons of foodstuff and materials to help out those people who need it the most. Salah from Kingston. Thank you very much, Salah from Kingston, and all the very best. This one from Alfred says, if this doesn't scare you to vote, what will get the people out against Trump? So that's coming out of America. And this one says, hi, Dervan, please let me know if you read their messages until you replied to or add them as a contact. Really? Please. Da, 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 da. Okay. So let's save this one and come back to it. And go to another. This one says, hi, Dervan, please. No, not that one. James in East London says, good day, Mr. Malcolm. Blessings to everyone. Blessings to you too, James in East London. Thank you for tuning in to both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. And looks like Sharon Smith has used the opportunity to share with us a flyer of the Hosemati Alumni Association J-Mani and Alumni Banquet. Well, we'll put in a word for you and your fellow alumni with the hope that you'll get enough support for a successful banquet. And all the very best. And going through the line, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And hello to Miss Brooks as well. We see you. Thank you. Franklin McDonald is in on it as usual. Catastrophe bonds dodge losses after beryl hits Jamaica. So this is one of the many stories coming out of Jamaica. Catastrophe bonds dodge losses after beryl hits Jamaica. So we're going to share a bit of that one with you in just a moment here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. live on your smart devices and taking more of your calls in a moment on 876 922 4112 to 5. 876 922 4112 to 5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876 365 3346. Taking a while to load, so we're going to move on and come back to this one from insurancejournal.com. And just as we're saying that, the page populating. Catastrophe bonds dodge losses after beryl hits Jamaica. Dated July 8, 2024 by Gautam Nock. Investors in bonds intended to help Jamaica cover the costs of a natural catastrophe won't be affected by the havoc wrought by Hurricane Beryl, even as the Prime Minister declares the entire Caribbean island a disaster area. As the earliest Category 5 hurricane on record, Beryl made landfall in Jamaica on Wednesday, bringing high-speed winds, sheets of rain, and a wave of destruction to the island nation. Investors in the country's $150 million catastrophe bond were monitoring the situation closely to assess whether they'd be called on to pay up and help cover part of the damage. However, due to the specific terms of the bond, which was arranged by the World Bank, investors will be shielded from any financial losses. The air pressure required for a payout of the CAT bond wasn't reached, according to an advisory sent to investors by Switzerland-based Plenum Investments, which is exposed to the bond through one of its funds. As a result, the expectation is that holders of the Jamaica bonds won't lose any money, it said. While fortunate for investors, the outcome represents a challenge for Jamaica. The country, an early mover in using cat bonds to protect against losses caused by events such as hurricanes, now faces the task of cleaning up after Beryl. Its cat bond pays holders 7% above the U.S. Treasury rate as compensation for the risk they agreed to take on. Jamaica has a total disaster safety net of $1.6 billion, making it one of the most prepared Caribbean nations when it comes to dealing with the financial cost of hurricanes. That part includes insurance policies and other lines of credit. Jamaica's sovereign bonds were little impacted, with dollar notes due in 2028, 2039, and 2045, edging up according to indicative pricing data compiled by Bloomberg. The extra yield investors demand to hold the debt over similar U.S. treasuries has fallen nearly 30 basis points in the past year, data from JP Morgan Chase and Company show. Catastrophe bonds allow issuers to pass part of their risk over to capital markets. Issuance has picked up lately, with factors including climate change, population density, and inflation adding to the potential losses that insurers face. Investors in the bonds stand to generate market-beating returns if a predefined catastrophe doesn't occur, but can face substantial losses if it does. In 2021, Jamaica became the first small island state to independently sponsor a cat bond, persuaded by the rapid payouts of such instruments. Its government renewed the bond in April, obtaining a fresh $150 million in insurance cover for named storms. The deal was jointly structured by Swiss Re Capital Markets and Aon Securities. It affected 15 global investors and provided insurance protection for 4 hurricane seasons, according to the World Bank, which helped arrange both Jamaica transactions as part of a push to promote cat bonds in less developed countries. The International Federation of Red Cross said the unprecedented early season formation of beryl underscores the new reality of a warming climate for small Caribbean nations. Storms are more likely to rapidly intensify and become stronger, causing severe destruction and giving communities less time to recover in between shocks, it said. Cat bonds have been around for more than 25 years, and last year underpinned the most profitable investment strategy for the hedge fund industry, which with returns of about 20%. And this year has already seen record issuance and a widening of the investor pool. So you can read on according to the time that you have to share that with you. In the meantime, let's get ready to go to another break here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And let's go straight to the phone lines, 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. There's more after the break.
Jamaica Festival Jamaica College Auditorium, Saturday, July 13th, 30 p.m. Admission free. Festival 978. Power 106 FM, the digital sound of now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-259-8281 in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 030-606 0953. Plus, listen to us on OneSpotMedia.com and the OneSpot Media app. Or log on to go-jamaica.com. Our 106 FM, where all views can be trend. You can be your talk radio in 7 days, on air and online. Listen up, cause we are not a pretty right for your life. I'm on the hell. It's people is almost a dry without it. I'm not sure that it go on the website. Make sure them people in them cars. Connection is firm. Join as a team with a learn. If I'm crossing the sky, green light, like this, when I can look right, then I know. If it's dark outside, make sure you hear something. When you drive, walk, ride, or drive, you might stay alive. On the road, please stay alive. Appreciation, road safety.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. Text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. This one says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. This is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. I am ready for learning something new from you. That's very kind of you to say. Thank you. This one says, Master Dervan, good afternoon to all Jamaicans who suffered from the hurricane. My sympathies to you. Everyone's pain is unique. However, looking on the aftermath of Beryl in Texas, we have so much to be thankful for in terms of the destruction there from a Category 1 direct hit. I can't imagine if the eye wall had gotten closer. And this one says, Dervan, can you increase the volume on Facebook? All right, we'll see what we can do. And let's go now to another call. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. How are you doing?
I am fine, thanks. And you?
Well, I'm doing pretty good.
What's on your mind this afternoon?
Okay. Two things. With a lot of people crying that they don't have electricity, but they should be happy. As I remember, Gilbert, I was living at Stanton Terrace, and Gilbert was September 12 or 11, 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get back light until December 18. So I think they should count the blessing most of all getting back light right now, because that's a very good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you do the math, it's like 3 months, almost 3 months before we get back light. Yeah.
What?
Yep. Yep. And where I was living is a pretty much it's an upscale area. Stanton Terrace in that vicinity. And we didn't get back light in December 18.
Mm-hmm.
So, and far as I understand is that almost 80% of the people get back light already.
What's it? Either 83, between 83 and 85% now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so that's a good thing. But the storm, we never get the full blunt of the storm, which was great, because trust me, I don't see nothing too much Gilbert.
Mm-hmm.
And before I see that storm, I usually want to see a storm, But now that I see that one, I don't want to see another one. Yep. Okay. Another thing. We're going to look at the politics now,
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You remember in Jamaica a couple of years ago when Mr. Siaga was the man that ran in the GLP, and he don't want to give it up, and he stayed there and lose about 3-4 elections because he don't want to give it up. Now, bring it towards Mr. Biden right now. Mr. Biden don't want to give it up, and he's going to stay there, and the Democrats going to lose. Trust me. Yeah.
What makes you so sure?
Eh?
What makes you so sure?
Because, even the debate that he did with Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump said, I don't understand nothing what this guy is saying. And he's 81 years old. Trump is an old man too. But we think Mr. Biden to give it up. I mean, they find somebody else, a younger person who can.
What about those who argue that you're practicing ageism?
can know that this. Okay, right now, you see me? Me a 63-year-old, you know. And me go to work 2 more years. And right so, I'm not a rich man, but can't manage your work, man. Being the president of the United States is a big job, you know. And he's 80 years. He have enough money, he can go sit down and enjoy the balance of his life for him and play. We don't have enough age. I mean, he can't manage. Everybody see that. I mean, it was a good thing to know that he get a term, yes. You want to have 2 terms, but come on. These people can do better. They can't spend the money that they have. Give it to a younger person. But I don't think that Jamaican lady, what's her name? Camilla. I don't think she can manage her work. Yeah. Yeah, they need to give strong young man.
A strong young man.
I mean?
Why not a strong young woman?
Yeah, it can be a young woman too, yes.
Okay.
But you know America set up. You know, so much like the woman leader. Yeah, but that's my little piece for today, you know.
Well, we thank you very much for lending your voice to one of the issues of the day. We appreciate your call.
All right.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Paro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112 to 5, 876-922-4112 to 5. Someone here is saying, a pleasant afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Please remind the caller, we are in a different time and civilization. We must move forward. My God. Thank you for your message and all the very best. And continuing your full participation. And here comes Driver in America. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Are you named brother?
Hearing you.
Okay. Good evening. Good afternoon to everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yes, brother.
Yes.
I'm still on the thing about the lyrics and thing out there, you know. Because I am being dismissed, you know, and what I'm saying. See, it's not a university to sit down and I study this, you know. I'm out here on a road, watching the people, listening to music, feeling it. And one thing I want to say to everyone who wants to dismiss this, what I'm talking about, what this is worse than burial. By umpteen times, what I'm telling you people about. And I'm not saying go stop artists or this or that or stuff. I just want you all to pay attention to it. Because a lot of people talking about what they don't know. I'm going to ask everyone a simple request. Get a bottle of hot sauce and a lime, put down with it, and download the raw 2024 dancehall mix. Listen to it and realize this is what is filling our youth, their heads. And like I tell you, my granddad and them know it. From top, uptown, downtown, everybody. And it's not everybody here can take it. It is rather seductive and telling the tale of where we're going as far as our nation. So, before anyone, dismiss me, because this one said that, we know this, I live it, I'm in it, I'm seeing the children react to it, the spirit that they get into when they hear these vile things being
thrown out. And it sinks into their psyche. It's habit forming. It's like drug. Brother Dervan, if no one else, and you can't stomach it, 2024 Raw Dancehall Mix. If you can listen to 10, 20 minutes of it, and, please give me a comment on that.
For the most part, it's material I have heard before, meaning on.
No, Brother Dervan, it's gone to another level.
I know which level you're talking.
It's, I wish I could be taken seriously and this brought to the fore. I'm not saying ban anybody, but it is something that we need to. It is even like I do with my granddaughter. She don't know, we discuss it. You know what you're listening to? Explain it to me. What is it saying? And it's not just the wrong. I tell you, this is worse than burial. Burial come and gone. This is here to stay. And we'll just continue to infect generations and generations and generations to come. Reference was made to, when this is nothing about Bob Marley. I grew up, that is a part of me, the poor people that were dirty Rasta boy. I couldn't even listen it around people from those times. This is nothing like that, which is why those things are considered high culture now and embraced by masses, because it is evident what they were. What we're talking about now, Brother Dervan, is something completely different.
How so?
This, Brother Dervan, I can't even articulate it because it's going to sound like hyperbole. Please, I'm asking everyone, give it a listen. 2024 Raw Dancehall Mix. And I'm not, believe me, I'm not even more coaching. The artists have become, something has to be done, man. You can't, the trajectory of this, I'm a future man.
Hold a moment, please. Hold on, please. We need to take a break. One moment.
Yes, sir.
Or visit accessfinanceonline.com. Conditions apply.
Thanks for holding. Thanks for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Driver, please continue.
It's hard to discuss it without your having, and even if you listen to it in the comfort of your home, it's not the same, brother. But you have to deal with the spirit that is how it takes over souls when it's being absorbed. But just listening to it with your imagination, you can make an inferential leap to where it can take the mind that is not developed, the mind that is forming our youth. I'm going to ask you and the listeners, whomever is open-minded enough to give it a listen and we comment on this in the future.
Okay.
Like I said, this is worse than burial. What we're looking at right here. And something, I don't know. We're not with huge free society. The arts are going to do their thing. But we have to come up with something to shield, but have a shock absorber for the youth. Because it's glamorized and it's everything. Believe me, you see, gangster rap. I told you already. I was working with detainees at the time, youth. And to the person who was just, speaking about the same Donald Trump, wanted when the Central Park, we spoke about it before. The children, the young men who were accused of raping that one liar in Central Park. One of them is a New York City councilman right now. Sitting down, look at him, Julian, disbarred from the New York Bar Association. And this Donald Trump wanted to round them up and just had let's execute them. Racist. Because support him. Because I pray he doesn't get in power. But I digress. But Dervan, what we're looking at here is the same thing, like I said. And then everyone started, the crime, youth, this, that. Youth has to be, we have to educate the youth to deal with these things. Because with it coming at them unfiltered like that, any card can play. I'm going to ask you about Dervan and the listeners, whomever is bold enough and want to take this to another level. Disagree with me if you might, but disagree with me from an informed position. Because a lot of people don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, Randy Williams online is saying, hey, Dervan, so if those lyrics are so bad, why is Driver sending us to go listen to it?
Because you need to know the devil. You can't sit and talk about the devil. Randy Williams, that's poor. Come heavier than that. Listen to the thing if you want to enter this conversation and submit something, heavier than that. Lyrical. Call in. Say something. A lot of you cowards, you dare put your voice on the radio, but you're ready to snipe from the sides. Brother Dervan, those who are really concerned about Jamaica, I'm telling you, this is like worse than better. And we need to somehow, in our educational system or what, we need to mitigate this, because this coming at our youth unfiltered, that poor, this being told, being channeled into the sex trade and told that, open your hand before you open, I don't even want to go further, and that is a big song now. You see how the women, the females get inspired when that play.
Mm-hmm.
That is not the Jamaica that I envision for the future. And the music, because I tell you, I'm a music man. I live it. And see how everybody come and embrace this now. I knew what was going on back in those days. The things that you embrace now. A lot of you, Randy, all of you wouldn't even listen to them things back in those times. But this is different now. This is very different. There is a different. I know the impact that music has. I tell you, as a grown man, Brother Dervan, listen to some of this stuff sometimes because I listen to it. I get into it. And when you finish, you can feel its influence on you. It's real. And I take that to another level and say, what about a child?
Here is, sorry to cut you. Here's another take up of what you were saying. This person says, what this caller is talking about, the recent dancehall so-called music, is extremely X-rated. They blare it in the plazas in Spanish Town. It's describing how a finger is inserted and how to stimulate, and it's in your ears. And the worst part is that small children, youngsters, and the elderly, and we're not seeing the rest of that. We're getting a horrible feedback, Driver.
You can't even shield your child from it. Nobody, you know what I mean? Like I said, and I'm even trying to do that, you know what I mean? My children or my grandchildren, you know what I mean? Because I'm seem like me. when we speak from an informed position. Go down there, look at the devil and come back and talk to me about him.
Let's see how that goes.
I want you to know his face. I want you to see him. I want you to know him. And I will help you learn how to deal with him. And that is what I'm asking for our nation's children. They're right up there with the devil. We have to teach them how to deal with him. Because that is literally what is going on. The Bible tells us this. These are the kind. Nothing new under the sun, you know. Man, I talk about Babylon and a curse police and this. We are right there. Whoever would dare to go and research history. Babylon, what it was like. That's where we are heading into. We're at the gates. So, you know, ridicule me if you might. But I'm concerned about my nation. That is where I'm not speaking as approved. I'm in the dance hall. I'm listening to it, but I'm an adult. I can deal with it. I can even, you know, enjoy it. Because I'm shielded with a mind that has developed, but the child that is mind has not been developed. And they see this, hey, okay, Dervan, studies on something positive. All it is telling our young females who have nothing else is like, hey, go sell it. And it's okay. That's normal. You're a prostitute. Young man, be a murderer. Be this, be that, whatever. Treat her like a prostitute. She is. To devalue ourselves. It's like, and we don't even realize self-destruction from within. But tell me I'm wrong, you know? I'm just saying, do it from an informed position, like that person just now who knows what I'm talking about. Listen to the music and then tell me I'm wrong. And as you listen to it, think of a young child who knows this better than the ABC because they hear it morning, noon, and night from them in the room.
Well, Randy says to tell driver Randy says to tell you, driver, that he can't listen because he also drives for a living.
Well, I drive for a living and I'm well informed right here, Randy. I listen to everything. Everything. As you hear in my speech. I can address it. Pick up a topic right now. Let's talk about it.
No, man, that has never been in question.
Oh, the drive for a living is 4,000 miles a week, me though.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And you can't listen. So best thing you do, stop where you are. But Dervan, you understand what I was just saying? I'm asking those who are a little bit more cerebral than Randy, and you want to deal with this thing from that point of view. For the pledge go again, Brother Dervan. You're the man who knows. And I will get the joy to hear you. Could you just give us a recitation of the national pledge, please, Brother Dervan? You have a great voice.
Before God and all mankind, I pledge the love and loyalty of my heart, the wisdom and courage of my mind, the strength and vigor of my body. In the service of my fellow citizens, I promise to stand up for justice, brotherhood, and peace, to work diligently and creatively, to think generously and honestly, so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity, and play her part in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Thanks, my brother. People, that's another thing you can download the pledge and really look at it and measure it against what I'm saying. If you really love your nation and not willing to just sit down and let blackness take over our nation, violence take over our nation, and put it off and blame government, blame this. I want to ask you to repeat the other one, Brother Dervan. But two, start where you stand. Give thanks, sir. Blessings.
Blessings to you too. Thanks for the call.
New dancehall mix raw edition. I'm listening, folks, and tell me I'm talking foolish. Imagine a young child observing that feel. Blessings, sir.
Okay, to you too. Take care.
One love. All right.
One love. Thank you very much, driver. All the best. Take care. Let's see who else is messaging us here on both sides of the story. Poro 106 FM. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling. You sound distant. Let's see if we can. Just a moment, please. Let's get a bit of the theme going for a moment. One. This is all knotted.
So come along, brothers, and come along, sisters. UNITY is unity. UNITY is unity. UNITY is unity. UNITY is unity.
Contractors, developers, and small builders. Contact Coast to Coast Group of Companies for high-quality concrete products. The time by Coast to Coast Group of Companies is
3 o'clock. I want to tell the farmers about the Digital Foundation. It not only helped me as a farmer, but it helped my entire community with farming. I want you to know that they have a new thing coming out called the 20 for 20 for 20 grants. If you're a registered community organization with disabilities, schools, even farmers, you need to apply for the grant at the digitalfoundation.org.
We must leave us war. Because two wrongs can never make a right. Look into the age that we're living in today, brothers. Look into the age that we're living in today, sisters. So come along, brothers, and come along, sisters. UNITY is unity. So come along, brothers and sisters.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking more of your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, good day. I'm actually calling you about two separate issues, a bit different from what the young man was speaking about earlier.
All right, I'm sorry. Why do we have two again? Hold on. I think we have two. Hello?
Yes. Hi.
All right, just hold on a moment, please. I'm going to ask this caller who is also on if he could just
I'll hang up the
yeah, please, and keep listening as soon as we check. Okay, there you go. All right, thanks for the call.
Okay, thank you for that. Mr. Dervan. One of my issues that I'm calling about today is pertaining I'm just seeking some information on who to reach out to. Booked a stay at a particular hotel and I've been waiting for a refund for over 2 months now that they said that they refunded and I checked with my bank and I have not seen my money as yet. It's Sea Garden Beach Resort. I have been patient. I have been calling. I have been emailing. I have been sending a copy of my bank statement to show them that I have not received a refund, but no one is following up with me, and I am without $60,000, $59,000, and it's been months. I've been affected by the storm, and I need that money to work on my home, and I've been very patient with them. So I'm just calling to see if there's anyone that you could reach out to get them to, reach out to me to give me my money that I work really hard for, honestly.
Yeah. What's the last word you had you received from management?
The last time was that she's on lunch. No one is following up. I'm sending emails. I'm sending updates, but no one is speaking with me. The last call, which was before the storm, was that, oh, we sent it to your bank, and I said, well, I spoke with my bank and they don't have it. Can you check with your accounting department and follow up with me? They said that the manager was not in and would follow up with me up until today. 2 weeks later, nothing. I've been calling. I've been very patient. And it's $60,000. It's very hard to come by. And I sat and I saved to book with them. I still stayed with them. It's just that one of them was supposed to be refunded, the original booking. I still stayed with them. I need my money and I need someone to reach out to me to give me my money that I worked so hard for and, put a little bit of customer service in it. You've not received a refund, let me check, let me follow up with it to see what's going on. None of that. No one cares.
Well, we're sorry to hear of your plight. Have you tried to make contact with the Consumer Affairs Commission?
I have tried, but I have been having some issues getting through to them. I'll have to try again, but just in case there are other persons out there experiencing the same issue with Sea Garden Beach Resort, saying that they're refunding you your money and not doing so, I just wanted to post, calling about it in case it's something that they do often. So that's one of my burning issues that I have today. The other issue that I'm calling about is the homes that are built by the Matalan homes that are in Portmore, Spanish Town.
That's a big area. That's a big area when you call the name. And
yes, I've had so many persons reporting issues with these prefab homes that are not being built properly. You have 3 homes being built on one, and almost every home in Portmore is currently leaking right now, just constantly leaking due to the poor structure. You cannot lick it down. You cannot build a new structure. So basically, if you have a 2-bedroom, 1 bedroom is just, you can't use it. It's just unusable. So I wanted to know, what do we do in a sense where you build these type of homes that are so cheap, you ask us to pay the same money for it, but at the same time you cannot build on it because the material that you use is so poor that it falls apart over a few years.
Have you collectively brought this matter to the attention of the developers?
Yes, I reached out to them. I sent an email to them. I tried called more than one time. They said that they would follow up with me, and nothing. You have 3 homes joining on each other, and every 3 of those homes are leaking in the joining. The blocking is like they use a piece of tape. It's like the homes are not properly built. It's like you would take a mattress stick and just put a piece of tape on top. That's how they build them, and they just stretch it across the 3 homes.
Sorry, your volume went down. Just went down. What's happening there?
So the homes are leaking terribly. They are leaking, and you cannot remove it. You cannot remove the structure. So I want to know what Matalan is doing in these cases where they should have known better as contractors or developers, because these things should have been passed right to say if this was something that could last. I am concerned about who passed these homes. Maybe persons don't know or don't know better, but this cannot be right. If you're making homes that cannot last, You cannot build on the spot because it's joint. You cannot lick it down. What are you left with? What am I supposed to do? Right now, a one bedroom is going for 10 million up. What am I supposed to do with a non-functional one bedroom that's consistently leaking? It doesn't matter if you use the membrane on the top. It doesn't matter what you do. You're left with a home that's not really a home because it's not functional. So what do we do in that sense?
Was it up to when did it continue
It has
to
always
exude its relevance, or its
it has always been leaking, and I'm pretty sure there are persons out there listening right now experiencing the same thing. The new homes that they're building, the older homes that are joined with three ways, they're built terribly. You cannot lick them down to build new homes, and they're leaking. They're falling apart. You just sit there and just see pieces of blocks just falling out because it's not built with proper block infrastructure. It's poor. So what do we do in this sense? Where I've called, I've emailed, and I've not received any assistance as to what to do. One day I was on the phone, I was like, what do I do? Can you guys come and take a look? The building is pretty much crackling down.
Have you ever tried the what's the name of this entity now? The Office of the Public Defender?
No, because clearly there's someone passing on these homes that are not durable and should not be passed on in the first place. Shouldn't there be like some legislation to say, you know, this is a flood prone area, you cannot build these types of homes won't last, or the material is too poor? Is there such a department out there? Because there's someone passing on these homes and allowing them that it should not be acceptable.
There are also the local government authorities that have some responsibility for the kind of construction and development of land. They usually are supposed to police those areas as well.
Okay, so clearly that's not being done, and persons are left with poor homes that doesn't last even a few years, 10 years if you have it falling apart, and your home is supposed to be durable, and the price of homes, they keep going up, and who is going to, come back and say, let us look at it, let us try to revamp it? Who do I reach out to revamp? Do I reach out to that said department that you just mentioned? Or who is going to take responsibility and assist persons with fixing these flaws?
I would start with the entity that that through which these developments were approved and became operational. I would actually start there and see if there was some fundamental flaw took effect at the time of that development.
So many fundamental flaws, yeah?
Mm. Yeah.
But yeah, I'll be following up on it because I don't feel that I should be paying millions of dollars for a home, and I can't even stay in it when it rains. Yeah. You're supposed to feel safe. You're not. You're getting wet.
Mm-hmm. Well, by all means, if you... I was terribly sorry to hear of the issues you have had on...
Slab top, not zinc. It's concrete.
Mm. But
it's not the flat top on the surface, it's the joining, the poor, the faulty material and the design that they use.
Yeah, well, the thing now is having the benefit of a forum within which you can have these matters dealt with.
Yeah, I'm not even sure, but I'll call and I'll see, and I'm pretty sure with customer service in Jamaica, I'll get the runaround and no one will follow up, and I'll be left with a leak, just the same as many other Jamaican persons that don't know better, and because we're not seeking justice for it.
And we trust you can get the attention of the decision makers in that particular department.
Okay. I'll definitely reach out and see what can be done.
Well, please keep us posted. Let us know how it eventually turned out. Please.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's take another call. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I can see that driver is so serious about dancehall. From yesterday, I hear him speaking the hills and fancy about dancehall. Even today, on the program before your show, Dervan. Driver is just, speaking about the way that dancehall have been a pitfall to Jamaican youths and so on. But Dervan,
Yes.
In reference to our reconstruction of our constitution now, we have to call it a reconstruction. We really think it go better than when.
Office of Reconstruction, that went out of sight.
Repeat.
That is no longer operational as far as we are aware.
Yeah, and I see.
Hold on a moment, please. Hold on, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:15.
Tune in to Power 106 FM for the longest running religious call-in program on Jamaican radio, The Prayer Line. Join Pastor Errol Hay and his team as they offer spiritual guidance and intercession grounded in biblical doctrine. Hear powerful testimonies from Jamaica and around the world. The Prayer Line, a source of support and inspiration in these trying times. That's The Prayer Line on Power 106 FM, Sundays at 6:30 p.m. Join us.
You shall live declare the works of the Lord. Amen. You shall be a living testimony here on the Lord's side.
Thanks for holding. Thanks for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, thanks for holding. Please continue.
Yeah, Dervan. I felt that the Constitution and Jamaica went bad from early as in 1960, when Norman Manley and Sir Alexander Bustamante went to England to bargain with Queen Elizabeth. I felt that Jamaica went wrong from those times, and I'm saying that when our constitution was formed, these two gentlemen was really the person who sit at the table and look over it, and we are seeing that now that many things have fallen short, where our country is lagging behind, and we feel that from them time there, if we the people did take the necessary step to address this situation, our country would be in a better position now. And we as Jamaican would be in a better position to hold our political people to a higher standard, because the Constitution is definitely formed to protect them. Another thing that I look into, Dervan, is how most of our streets, they are named after politicians and people of the past from England and all over the Spanish speaking world, and that is something that we don't try to correct. And even the park, downtown park, which is Sir William Grant Park, I say that it is an opportunity for a long time where we, the Jamaican people, should take over that park and let it be for us, because if people from a next country can just do something, and then we hear say park name after Mandela and after Sir Williams. So why we don't have a park name after Bob Marley or Dennis Brown Park in Dervan?
I think in a situation like that, the family would have to be involved, as his part of his legacy would be his name and that which he has been associated.
Dervan, when we are entering from Upper King Street, we have to pass Norman Manley on one side, right? Haven't you seen that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
And when you are going
coming from the
Lower King, going to Lower King Street to the courthouse, we have to pass Bustamante. Isn't that any inspiration, Dervan?
It depends on who you are.
Any form of inspiration.
It depends on who you are and how you feel about these matters, and whether anything or anyone in your space at any given time inspired you to respond in a particular way. So it's
Dervan, I'm speaking about the youth,
Mhm.
the youth, the Gen Z, the young generation. I'm coming up. I'm passing through that path. What they are thinking in them head? It's just politics. It's just politics.
Well, we could try to find out. We could try to find out from them, from their own mouths, and hear how they feel.
Repeat the van.
Yes, I'm saying it could help to inform your position a little better if it is that you were able to speak with those youngsters and ask them, for example, how they felt about the statues and what they knew about the statues in the park, etc., and get a conversation going.
Dervan, you know that after that George Floyd incident in the US, when statue was falling all over the world, Jamaica is the only country that did not put down not even one statue, Dervan.
I believe you're right.
Did you know that, Dervan?
I believe you.
Black country.
Yeah, I'm saying I believe you are correct.
Yes, so I am saying, Dervan, I am not pushing it on anyone thinking, but I felt that when the bourgeois and the high society people take Bob Marley picture statue and put uptown, it was definitely something they are thinking. When them take Bob Marley statue and put right up by Arthurwin Drive, I know that it is something special them do. Because people will be coming from all class and will be going to the national arena and the national stadium, and people need to have their kids passing a statue like Bob Marley for inspiration. I felt that way, that Bob Marley's statue did not put up in Midtown as just like that. I felt that it was definitely done by some plan. Have you felt that where I'm
evolved before our very eyes? Because there are others who have painted or sprayed or otherwise set up some kind of a memory, but not going too far for whatever reason, or not going beyond a certain point. Whether there's a weight.
Dervan, did you know that statue is a very important thing when it comes on to the culture of people, Dervan?
Yes.
Statue. It is something that Renaissance are put a different feeling in someone's mind, Dervan. You see the statue of liberty, Dervan. No matter what position you are coming from in the sky, in America, you have to see the Statue of Liberty. And I feel that by now, we Jamaican should try and remove those two statues. That statue of Norman Manley and Bustamante from that park there, Dervan.
Why?
We the people, especially in the inner city of Kingston and St. Andrew, where political and tribalism war has grappled us for years. I feel that these statues have something to do with it, Dervan. I feel that these two statues with Norman Manley and Bustamante in the center of Kingston and St. Andrew have something to do with this tribalistic, political behavior of the people.
How so? Why have you taken that position?
Dervan, I just tell you that statue paint a picture in people's mind. Statue. Dervan, those two statues have been there for a decade now. We must try something new. Dervan.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. So you're saying the statues could evoke certain emotions and sentiments, and whether of a historical nature or otherwise.
Not really. Those two statues can be removed and bring it at hero circle. I feel that those two, it's time now for those two statues. That those two Bustamante and Norman Manley statue to be removed from downtown Kingston now and bring it to hero circle and put up inspiration in that park, turn that park into a inspiration park.
Hold a moment, please. One moment.
Help us protect Jamaica's borders. Tell us about any illegal guns coming through customs-controlled areas. Call Crime Stop at 311. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
3:30. How much do you know about spices and the impact they have on your everyday life? Join us every first and third Thursday during Farm Talk with Althea McKenzie at 6:18 a.m. for Spice Up Jamaica. We'll give you tips, tidbits, and interviews about the revitalization and sustainability of the Jamaican spices, including ginger, turmeric, and pimento. That's Spice Up Jamaica every first and third Thursday at 6:18 a.m. during Farm Talk with Althea McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM. Spice Up Jamaica is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food for Progress Jamaica Spices Project. The age that we're living in today, brothers. Look into the age that we're living in today, sisters.
Thanks for holding, and let's see if we can round out the discussion in this segment, please.
Dervan, I feel that this gentleman here, Bounty Killer Dervan, I cannot count on my fingers and my toes the amount of youths that Bounty Killer have inspired in this nation. How much youth Bounty Killer have able to inspire to become millionaire in this country. That simple dancehall youth from Kalalobed, Bounty Killer. That simple youth We cannot name the amount of youths that Bounty Killer inspire. And I feel, say, if them put some statue with icon such as Bounty Killer, Beanie Man, Shaggy, Bibi Gardner, Usain Bolt, Safa Powell, Merlin Otti, Usain Bolt, a wide spectrum of ghetto youths who have risen from out of the ashes of the inner city and the urban communities and become legends and folklore in this country, and put those youths in the park, especially when they are alive, and mix it with some toots and some Dennis Brown statue, and just put them all over in the park, in a downtown park. That's an evening time. We can go down there with our family and with our dinner and sit down at the statue. Just tell our youths them say we are go downtown at a park, a statue park. And want you sit down are your favorite artist, are your favorite athlete. We are going to eat dinner there. We are going to eat dinner right at them foot. I feel say this Jamaica can turn. Because everything is just politics. And politics now put nothing in a Jamaica. Politics just a take out. See Kishian there. Kishian Thompson pick up the mantle where Usain Bolt left off. Kishian Thompson have a run left the world in this Olympic year. He must do it. He have to do it. He must oblique civil. They must save we again. They must put Jamaica on the map again. And we don't have to beg to do that. We don't have to beg. We don't have to beg. Like a hurricane blow. And when they are all over the globe a beg. When they are all over the globe a beg. Little Beryl come out with a beg. And these athletes are going to lift up Jamaica once again and put Jamaica on the map again. So we need to move them politicians out of the park now. If Mandela can get park, and white people can get park in a New Kingston. We want a park downtown with our hero, man. We want a park downtown with our hero, them. We get to hero, them. We want it, Dervan. Sound.
Sounds like you're ready. Sounds like you're ready to put it in writing and make a submission to the mayor.
Dervan, we now have to put it in writing. Your program is a program where everybody listen. Everybody listen.
You sure about that?
You know about everybody listen you. Everybody listen you. Everybody listen both sides of the story.
You're very kind.
Everybody, so Dervan, each time I talk, Dervan, I may stutter, so but me know say I'm not gonna tell no lie, say I got that inspire me or what, but I something my gone my bed and dream. Oh, this nation can step forward.
Well,
When we have to pass one politician from Upper King Street and pass a next one a Lower King Street, that a wall down that. Political wall down that. Political wall down. Have a nice day, Dervan.
all right, you too. Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hi, good afternoon, Dervan.
Good afternoon. Giving thanks for life as usual. And you?
I'm good.
Hello? That was quick. The line is now rather iffy. After a bright
Can you
hello.
hear me now?
Hearing you now, yes.
Yeah, sorry, man. Sometimes you're touching a certain way, give the technology.
Yeah.
I just got the feeling of that lady who was complaining about a roof leaking, a slab roof leaking, right?
Yes. In one of the prefabricated houses in Portmore.
Wow. It's sorry to hear that, but I didn't get the full story. But from my experience, that happened because a couple of reasons. When you do a slab, for any slab, by the way, and when you're doing a slab, any decking or
Slab
decking,
roof. Mm-hmm.
You gotta make one pour. You can't pour and come back and pour one part again. It has to be one straight pour right through.
A pouring of the mixing material, the concrete material.
Right, the concrete, right? The concrete has to be done in one day. It has to be poured one time. So you gotta be continually poured. By the way, you can't even wait. You can't pour one part like an hour. Like you can't wait like a couple of hours before you pour the next part. It has to be continually done on one. You know, in other words, once the concrete start cure, or there's a dry, but it's curing.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one, the new one is not gonna bond to the one that start curing already. So it has to be poured continually. Mm-hmm. That's why when you see them doing a pouring of the foundation or decking, especially decking, you'll see the trucks lining up. So as soon as one truck pulls out, the next one pulls in, and it's done continually. And
that's why that section of the rear of the truck has to have that container mixing cement constantly.
Well, one of the truck, a lot of times it's just a pump. They'll pump it up where it needs to go. The truck is mixed from the plants, and the truck continues to mix it until it's coming out. So the truck keep mixing it until it comes out, and then it pump it to where it's going. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times what happens, if you don't have a proper site management to make sure that the decking is being done, the slab decking is being done continuously, you will have that happen. So the truck may not show that if they use the truck. By the way, you can't use your hand, so-called people mixing with their hand and do it. That's a no-no. Anytime you do decking, it has to be done by a mixing mechanism, preferably by the truck, okay, with a pump to pump it up there, preferable. But at least a mixing machine with all the material at one place, and you make sure it's done continually. It's very difficult to do it with even a mixer, portable mixer. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, that's one problem it can be. The next problem, of course, one situation in Jamaica what I find, when they do decking, they don't vibrate it. It has to be vibrated. So you have to have these vibrators that's continually doing a vibration in there to make sure all the air pockets are out. Because if the air pockets are in there, that's what you call it, a pocket
or a bubble.
Concrete. Huh?
Or a bubble, a pocket or a bubble.
Well, you're not gonna see it.
Okay.
But a air pocket means that there's no concrete there. So it's a hole is there, but you don't see it. It's there. So you have to, you're supposed to vibrate. When you do slabbing, it's supposed to be vibrated. Supposed to be. But a lot of practice in Jamaica is not done. For strength, a lot stronger, because you're taking out all the air bubbles. So there's no air bubbles in there. The next problem should maybe having to guess up to. If you're doing a roof, if it's a roof slab you're doing, it's gonna be a roof. It has to be pitched. It cannot be flat.
Pitched as in angle slanted.
Yeah, slanted. It's a pitch. So we call it pitch in construction. You have to have a pitch. So it could be normally for every foot you'd say as a half inch pitch you're giving it, or something like that, or quarter inch pitch. So it depends on the length of it. You do the calculation and say the bottom, it's of course is going to be 0, and then when it reaches up where the last end is going to be, where the pitch, where the eye is going to be, it has to be multiplied by 1 by, if it's 1 by 20 feet or a quarter of an inch, but it has to be pitched. That's the first thing. It has to be pitched, and then it has to have no belly. So it has to be pitched nicely, flat and straight, so the water can run off.
You're surmising perhaps some of those applications were absent from that construction. Internet issues again. Yeah, internet issues. Oh. You're back up. Go ahead, please.
Okay. If it's all, it could be all of the above or any one of those. Chances are, it could be. I suspected that it wasn't poured properly. That's number one. Number two, chances are if it's leaking a lot, it doesn't have any pitch. Now there are a couple of ways of fixing this. Okay. Well, by the way, if it doesn't pour properly, I'm not trying to scare anything like that. But say, as I'm saying, so one part was poured before and make it dry, especially overnight. So if it was like dried, stay there and dried maybe a couple hours or 10 hours or 5, overnight. So you stop pouring and then come back tomorrow and pour. That's not safe. That roof is not safe. I'm not trying to scare or nothing like that, but engineer would have to look at it and see exactly if it's if there's a you can tell based on when you look at your concrete, you could tell if the concrete was poured and stopped and cure overnight and then come back and pour again. That's a no-no, especially if there is a bearing wall there. If there's a bearing wall, then you could do off and then try to when you come back tomorrow, you start.
Hold, hang on a moment, please. We need to take another break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45. Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. The 50-30-20 rule. Creating a budget can help you make confident decisions and enjoy peace of mind. A detailed budget, though, can be complex to manage. For one easy way to plan your spending, you may try using the 50-30-20 rule. It splits expenses into just 3 categories and also offers recommendations on how much money to use for each. The 50-30-20 rule recommends putting 50% of your money towards needs, 30% towards wants, and 20% towards savings. The savings category also includes money you will need to realize your future goals.
It's unity, so come along, brothers and sisters.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
Yeah, sorry, I think I got cut off, but I think I'm reconnected back. Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
Yeah, so I know money is tight in Jamaica, but it depends on how hard it's leaking. I'll get an engineer to look at it, because if you pour and stop and you don't stop in the right place, that can be a problem. If there's a bearing wall is there, it can be done, but I don't like when it's done like that. But if a bearing wall is there and you put one side on this side and one side on that side, then it's it's kind of safe, but it's not 100%. But if that's not the case, then that's gonna be a problem. Okay, when it comes to safety, there's an earthquake, and you stop pouring again. That's a weak spot there. You call it a weak spot in the deck. And if an earthquake comes and starts shaking that spot, you can have a collapse. I'm not trying to scare her, but if it's leaking bad, I definitely get an engineer to look at it, or someone who knows about leaking to take a quick look at it first. But if those conditions are not bad, where it's not structurally unsafe, and it doesn't have a pitch, then you probably can hire a good mason, and give it a nice pitch. They'll go up there with cement, and give it a nice pitch. And I think one of the paint companies sells a membrane, like a epoxy, that you can paint it with it, and that will help it with the heat. By the way, that will take some of the heat off. It's not cheap, but it's I think it's a pretty decent material that can work. You paint it, and it will stop the water from soak through. And it will probably solve the problem if it's done right. There's another one I kind of like. I don't know if that's in Jamaica. But I met a guy in one of those big box store. I think it was Home Depot or Lowe's, and he told me he'd bring this rubber. He had the same problem with leaking on his roof, and he brought this rubber roof, called a rubber roof. Now we're using a flat roof here in New York or in the state, and you could apply the rubber roof on the concrete itself, and that will last a very long time. It will also help with the heat. But if you're in Jamaica, I'll probably go to one of those paint stores and see if they have that membrane to paint it with. But I have to give it a pitch first, because if it's flat, if water is settling up there, what's happening? Look here, where you put up there, the water is gonna
eat away at the surface.
Right. So if the water is not running off, you gotta try to fix that. It's not cheap, and you have to have a good mason, because the mortar itself, I think one of the best way of doing it is probably paint it. Not paint it. There's a thing they sell that you chop the roof up, or try to rough it up if it's smooth already, and then you gotta put bonding material on it, and then you gotta put a nice coating up there. But you have to see it first to see exactly when you see it. One of my other solution, I tell people, I like simple solution, Dervan. So if that was my roof and having that problem she's having, just get a good carpenter and put a nice metal roof on it. Yeah, put a metal roof right over the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably best solution. The carpenter would lift the roof a little bit, the metal roof a little bit, and depends on what style you want. You have some nice material out there that you could just pitch it nicely, and you'll never know concrete underneath there. It looks like a metal roof. And guess what? That will solve a problem for a very, very long time. I don't know bigger houses, but metal roof is not that cheap. You go with zinc, you could go with zinc and probably paint the zinc, I don't know, but you can go with a nice metal roof. You have these long metal roofs that's already colored already. Get a nice carpenter, go up there. They'll bolt down the raft or whatever they need to bolt down on the concrete roof, and just put a nice metal roof up there. That's my simplest solution, and probably the better one. But get an engineer first, or somebody know about decking, and look at it to make sure that it's safe. Unfortunately, a lot of these people who do this kind of work, they don't take safety, or they don't take their work seriously to make sure that it's done properly. You're supposed to, by the way, when you do decking, you're supposed to have an engineer or someone with engineering skill and sight. It's not It's not a simple thing. It's not simple. People think it's so simple. No. So somebody with an engineering background is supposed to be on site. We need to do decking our slab. Yeah. Dervan, one next thing I want to talk about is this situation in Jamaica where the pumping station that pump water to your house, when there's no electricity, the pump doesn't work. Why is that, Dervan?
It sounds like the pump doesn't run 24/7, but but for whatever reason maintains a particular pace or a particular flow, or maybe it's just out.
Well, the pump uses electricity from JPS, but when JPS power is down for whatever reason, like this hurricane now, there is no backup generator at these water pumping station. Why is that?
Maybe because it lacks the capacity. The system lacks the capacity to support.
That's madness, Dervan. My simple calculation can tell me we can get a decent standby generator for about 10,000 US. Probably lesser than that. We probably installed for about 10,000-15,000 US. These generators use propane, so you put a propane tank right there, and all you gotta do is just put maybe a 25 to 50 cents US, or maybe say put on an extra couple of Jamaican dollars, and you bill, and you put these generators, standby generator, and even if you're not pumping the water 24/7, 24 hours a day when there's like a hurricane just passed, but at least for 12 hours a day. And if you think the water is not safe to drink, because of course when there's a hurricane, generally speaking, the water can have microbes in it, because you have a downflow, very sharp downflow. You just advise people not to drink it before you use it, or drink it. But at least people have water to bathe and for emergency use, Dervan.
Yes.
Why? Go ahead, please.
Go ahead.
I don't know why we don't think forward thinking, Dervan. And by the way, the backup generator I'm talking about, you'll give somebody a job to maintain them. Say, you know what? If I'm paying, say, 50 cents, just word speaking, 50 cents more every month, on my bill, I know when there's electricity, I know the pump is gonna the generator is gonna chip in, and I'm gonna have water.
Sounds like we're going to have to hire you.
Say again, please?
Sounds like we're going to have to hire you.
Well, Dervan, I tell you the truth, if I was running Jamaica, I don't know, I wouldn't survive in Dervan, because I tell you the truth, the agencies, by the way, have to communicate with each other. Another thing during the hurricane year is that I find that, I know Kingston is a capital, right? But Kingston is not Jamaica. So what we needed, I know at one point on RGR or the Gleaner at a sub base in Mobay, just for everything, is it still there or no?
I think so.
But I wasn't hearing nothing out of Mobay.
Mobay branch of RGR Gleaner Communications Group.
Right, but why wasn't it like they're a correspondent there, and even though the phones were down, these people should have a thing called satellite phones. By the way, I think MP should have a satellite. All the MPs should have a satellite phones, and all the councillors needs one. And I was talking to Mark about it, and he said also principal. That was one of Mark's idea. principal should have one too. Principal for school and you know and so on. Principal for a school, maybe the vice principal. But
the correspondence has continued. You know, it's not a total blackout or whiteout or redout.
But why we're hearing from Obi and say, you know, this is a condition here, or this is a condition in West Marlon. You know, like right after the hurricane, like right up, you know, after the hurricane, they, you know, at least they let people know what's going on. Why weren't you hearing information like that, Dervan?
Information like that was on the radio. Those who had battery powered radios, or those who were able to sustain their digital radios or otherwise.
Your station was streaming all along. Your station never stopped streaming, and I listened to your station all along. So I was listening. I didn't hear much information coming from the West until later on.
Well, maybe they responded insofar as they had material to share.
Okay. Well, I don't know. But I think we need to improve this. As far as information goes, getting information to people in a timely manner. But that one with the water pump is not hard to solve. It's not difficult. I think depends on the station. I think easily 10 kilowatt generator should be able to run those pumps easily. I don't think it should be what size pump. I think a 10K or not 12K generator should be able to run those pumps.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why we're not doing it. And all you gotta do is put on a little bit of money on people's bills. And when light gone, they don't have to worry. You know, they'll get water, maybe not 24 hours, but 12 hours.
Well, as long as we don't think in finalities as opposed to possibilities, because there is always some scope, some room for a greater or higher level of learning, and to be able to arrive at different levels of development and training, etc. So we'll have to save that for another time. We're out of time now. Thank you very much for sharing with us this afternoon. Take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Jamaica is no All roads lead to the Jamaica College Auditorium this Saturday, July 13th, for the Jamaica Festival Song Results Show, starting at 8:30 p.m. 10 finalists, 10 great songs, but there can only be one winner. The Jamaica Festival Song Results Show, Jamaica College Auditorium, Saturday, July 13th, 8:30 p.m. Admission free. Festival nice again.
This is the time that we all should live as one sister.
Let's take another call here on both sides of the story. Paro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
How you doing, Mr. Mark? Okay?
I'm fine, thanks. And you?
I'm all right, but I yet to hear you say congratulations.
Who should I be congratulating now?
The gunman them in Jamaica and the crazy driver them, because I hear the police and the road traffic people them saying 3 or 4 days before the hurricane, we don't have nothing coming from their side. So we know they can do better.
Well, be careful what you hope for or wish for. You just might get it.
They don't get no problem. I don't hear nothing negative coming from their side.
I see.
No accident, no shooting, no killing. So we know them can do better.
That doesn't mean it's not happening, though.
Yeah, but it's minimal and there's nothing major taking place.
But if it, yeah.
So we just have to keep the pressure on them and make them stay in the corner. We don't get nothing negative from them.
Yeah, well, watch the talk about positive and negative, because we need both of them actually in order to have light that we have in the studio now.
All right, next thing now.
Yes.
Before the last caller there, the other guy there, he mentioned something about the park, and I noticed when he mentioned about Dennis Brown, he said his family have to be notified. I agree, something like that.
No, it's just a caution to say don't get too excited about certain arrangements unless you are fully conversant with the particular laws and documentation. And in an instance where the person is deceased, then you would naturally have family members who have responsibility for the individual's estate and would require permission and documentation to go through with that process.
A question I would ask you now, with Mandela the park in Jamaica named after him.
If what?
Whose permission? Mandela Park, whose permission? Because he's from Africa, so whose permission was named after him in Jamaica?
That wouldn't be hard to find out for the decision makers. They know what they want and what they're going to ask for, and make it happen. They don't use the term movers and shakers for just fooling around, you know. One who is a mover. Anyway, yes.
So if that all the cross the T, then them say, okay, we're free to go now.
However you put it, however you prefer to put it, but the family has to be informed and approve any decision in that area. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I listened on a talk show and I was surprised. In Jamaica, we have about 3 million people, right?
I don't know what the figure is. Some people say 2.5, some say 2.6. And with the questions that have been asked in relation to the census, you can never tell.
Mr. Malcolm, I'm right now 56-year-old. And from about 20 million arguments, we have 2.5 million people. Then the population don't grow.
Well, remember, people are born, people die, and there are other exigencies in between.
So, well, what I just learned from what you said a while ago, you're more dying than who living right now then.
I said no such thing.
No, I'm just asking. At some point, you know, we know people dead every day and people born every day, but at some point, it might grow or it decrease.
Well, if that's what you're looking for and you find it, more power to you.
Okay, the point I'm making is, during the passage of the hurricane, I was surprised when I hear that we have over 3 million people and it's little over 400,000 people paying light bill in Jamaica, kind of the system I'm paying. That surprised me. Is that true?
I don't know. I'd have to check that data.
Okay. I also want to give me a feedback.
I'll try not to forget.
Okay, so if I check it tomorrow, I'm good.
Good luck.
Okay, so next point. So 90% of the people now have the light and water back on now.
Well, that means there's something happened within the last few hours or so, because it was at 85%, and you're saying it's now at 95%?
No, I'm just asking because I hear people from all over Jamaica, especially people in the countryside, say they need them light. Them things in them fridge have to be thrown away. And other things that get bad on them, so they need it. Them thing. The light people, them say them are trying their best to get things up and running. But I know it kind of difficult because the island wide thing.
Yeah, we're not in normal times right now.
So I'm just look patient.
Mm. All of us need to remember that.
One last thing before I go.
Mm.
A moderator of a program is a person in charge of a program, right?
Yes, you could say that. Yes.
No, I don't know what this lady was thinking. I was at a funeral over the weekend, and the person who died is somebody I know very well. So they said the first open if I want to say something. Three of us open. No, I was the person in front of the mic, so after me, the person went out. No, someone gonna be honest with me, you know. If the person say tomorrow promise to no one that because she make a point before she hand me before she give me my time. And she said tomorrow promise to no one. And I said to her, I said, what about this evening? The lady get upset with me in the box. What I say wrong there?
No, just a lack of sensitivity in that moment. I mean, you
So I shouldn't say that.
you want to be mindful of your speech and your posture as you express yourself, especially under certain circumstances. Other than that, people will think otherwise of you and your expressions.
Everybody nice. She was very upset. She gave that person the mic and let me talk. But anyway, what's the life for some time?
Yeah, well, you did the right thing by what's the term that is used now? Sort of a all right, it will come back. But what you have done is a good thing by not taking it beyond that, because some people in Jamaican parlance would perhaps cuss and go on bad, or put another way, just not in a not no with you, or that kind of thing. So
Yeah. So what I learned over the years, when a person get upset with you, if you get back upset with them, you know, things can go the wrong way. Sometimes
yes, we have to learn to. The term just came back into my head. De-escalate. Have to learn to de-escalate the situation.
So I do a good job of just walking away.
Absolutely.
All right. I hear about slow and clear.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you for the call.
All right.
Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, my professor.
Greetings.
Yes, and good afternoon to your valuable callers and listeners.
Thank you on their behalf. I trust you have been faring well.
Yes, Dervan, I'm very well.
Good.
One of the good things about the hurricane,
Yeah.
it has brought down a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
It has opened up the economy to a lot of overtime and a lot of work. Because, Dervan, my take on this whole hurricane based on my observation, you see?
Yes.
It reminds me of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, even where I live, even in Independence City there in Portmore,
Mm-hmm.
I realized that most of the people, they never have a pantry. COVID should have taught us to make our own pantry.
Really? I mean, you mean except other than the kitchen cupboards, you mean?
Yeah, other than the kitchen cupboard,
Oh.
you know, you have some closets, Portmore houses building some closets inside closets.
Mm-hmm.
You can use one of those closets as a pantry. And make sure you have at least 2 weeks supply of food. I'm not giving any financial advice.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I look in the supermarket, Dervan, in Apple Tree, where I just went to pick up 2 extra rice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dervan, it shows me that there's going to come a time in Jamaica where cash will become trash.
Mm-hmm.
Because you put me in the line and you see this long line, the cashiers were more willing to deal with debit and credit card transaction than cash transaction, the way the line was blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Yeah, because the technology helped to do the work for them in a sense.
And enhance the productivity
Mm-hmm.
and reduce the risk of cash.
That's right.
In cash and balancing cash.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to myself that we're still not fully utilizing the digital technology to our advantage as a people, Dervan.
True.
Yeah, there's still some fear between the system of money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing I observed, Dervan, when I went back 3 days after the hurricane,
Mm-hmm.
you see the baked products on the shelf?
The baked products. Uh-huh.
Yeah, the baked products.
Uh-huh.
Those shelves were empty, Dervan.
Wow.
And I said to myself, then, the man who owned the baking company in Jamaica, when I was a little boy to Dervan,
Mm-hmm.
I used to see them using donkey carts to carry their baked products in what we call the inner city now. And now they're using trucks, right?
Uh-huh.
I'm saying if the average household can learn baking in this economy, they can save a whole heap of cash in Dervan.
How so?
Because look, when you're going to the supermarket and you see the amount of baked products in there on a regular basis,
Mm-hmm.
and in space of 1 week hurricane alert,
Mm-hmm.
all of those space to gone. I'm checking supermarkets in Portmore and in Harper-Tree.
Mm-hmm.
That's some of the biggest supermarkets. Jamaican people eat a lot of baked products, Dervan.
Yes, and bread is one of our favorites.
Thank you. And when I was a little boy, my mother used to roast breadfruit and cold stove. And make putting on cold stove.
Hella top, hella bottom, and hallelujah in the middle.
Yeah, these young people, I don't see these young girls using their fingernail and their hand in that manner to turn breadfruit and hella top and hella bottom. Hallelujah. So that's the economy, Dervan, the base product economy. People must try and tap into that and save some money.
Yeah.
Because Dervan.
Hold a moment, please. One moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:15. Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the One Spot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
Look into the age that are living in today's sisters. So come along, brothers, and come along, sisters. UNITY is unity. So come along, brothers and sisters. Oh.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. Hello to Barry. He says, bless up, Sir Malcolm. That pledge should replace the religions and prayers in schools. Barry. Thank you for your message, Barry. Cuban in Georgia says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. President Joseph Biden will defeat Trump on the 4th of November easily. We do not, something is missing, as Black Jamaicans aspect a racist, even if that. All right. Thank you very much, Cuban in Georgia, for your message. Driver in America says, very informative contribution, Voice of New York. Franklin McDonald says, Durban, I send you that message about background noise because you're caller based in a truck and you call the best in New York or particularly good or are particularly good at making calls with very, very loud background noises. Dervan, the complaint about poor housing could be taken straight to the Ministry of Housing. The head of the housing department is Mrs. Prendergast. I know her well, in fact, Mrs. Prendergast, but I didn't know that's the position she held. Anyway, I could say some more about her, but I'll leave it there for the time being. She's a very effective officer. The lady should try calling the ministry. Well, I hope she's listening. The caller, was she the first one this afternoon? Was it? First female, yes, at the point at which there was someone else coming in on the line as well. And so if she's still listening, the Ministry of Housing would be another good place to consult. The Ministry of Housing. And now that I'm recognizing that I know the head of the housing department, I think I'll put through a call and see what comes up. We'll work on that. We will work on that. Okay, let's continue. This one says, Dervan, there is no operation. There is no, gosh, where does it start? Yeah. So let's see. Where does it start? Good, Dervan, good day. Tell driver that he won't see Trump doing any execution or revenge when he wins the election in November 2024 and president in January 2025. Tell driver that it's not only dancehall corrupt lyrics that have taken over our nation, but corrupt politicians and sleeping church leaders. The lady in Portmore with the leaking slab roof is hundreds of homeowners. Hundreds of homeowners in the area experiencing the same problem. Gore developers are also building some poor houses in Old Harbor and Featherbed Lane with exploded floor tiles and leaking roofs. The houses are too expensive and no good. Dervan, the man with the stuttering who said that the statues of Buster and Norman should be removed from the park, are not serious and thinking. You gave him too much time, so he started out good but picked up madness because of the long time. The park downtown is dirty and stink. Dervan, the Masons in Jamaica are aware of all of what Voice of New York is saying about pouring of concrete mixture on slab roof when he mentioned pitch is the same as gradient or slope. She can use a roofing compound. The compound will cost $6,000 per gallon. Metal roof, this will fly with the next hurricane. I tell the lady to fix her slab roof. Dervan, there is no operation of the NWA pump where there is no electricity because people will steal the gasoline if they had the generators the same way. the same way they stole Digicel and Flow fuel from their generator. And here is one from Neville, otherwise known as Salah. He says, "Blessed afternoon to you, Dervan. Dervan, Hurricane Beryl comes and destroys some of our parishes in Jamaica. Dervan, why were the soldiers deployed or not deployed to speed up the reconstruction of the electricity? The hurricane leaves a lot of people without electricity. Why is it the JDF wasn't deployed in helping out those parishes? And that was blown down by the hurricane. I don't know of a parish being blown down by the hurricane, but anyway, we get the point. Blown down by the hurricane. JPS, they have to maintain those light posts. From what I see, it is the lack of proper maintenance. Why all of these poles went down? It's the first time that I have seen where there was a disaster, a crisis, and the army was not called out to help out with construction. Is it that the soldiers are in Haiti? Salah from Kingston. I doubt that very strongly, but thank you very much for your message. And this one from the listener who calls himself Bunty. He says, "Good evening, Mr. Malcolm. Please ask that man who is talking about the park. Please tell him to give the program a break. He comes right pure." Something is missing here. Nanuet. No, nothing. The time he comes on the program, tell him go and spend time at a church. God help us with. We need knowledge. Tell him to take his family to the beach. Come off the program. Love, Jah, and live. There, Mr. Malcolm, you have one person on the program too long, and take rubies, some of them. I'm not able to say what those other words are. So maybe just straight typo. Horace, otherwise known as Spider, says, "Good afternoon. I'm going to say some things that maybe never said or asked before in the history of mankind. If you have your family, say whatever number of kids and everyone keeps getting sick. When you check to find out why they're getting sick, you find out the problem. It is so correct. The problem, and they stop getting sick. Does anyone mortal know what happens in heaven? Yesterday, last week, last year, 1,000 years ago, the Bible said no problem is too small, too big for God to solve. If the devil is what causes sins something is missing here. Not go straight to the problem and try to solve the problem. Why not the world get on their knees and pray to God, asking him to forgive the devil and bless him? And if that happens, I know that the whole world will sin no more, says Horace, otherwise known as Spider. This one says, my friend who is 65, or is it 66? My friend who is 66 years old has serious health problems. She has chronic hypertension and severe headaches. When things get really bad with her health, she cannot walk unassisted, and she is not able to get around much to take care of herself. He also suffers from chronic acid reflux. In addition to those health issues, her tenant left owing almost $100,000 in rent, and he destroyed the room to the extent that it cannot be rented unless it is repaired. That has left her in a critical problem. She has an outstanding balance for a JPS bill, which they have already given her, and extension beyond the due date. I and others have assisted her significantly, as much as is possible, but now JPS has given her a deadline of July 10 to pay the outstanding balance of $27,682.30. They have refused to extend any further grace to her with another extension. Based on her health condition, she needs the electricity, and also having this deadline is making her really worried. I hereby request that the kind assistance of your kind listeners to clear the outstanding balance for the JPS bill. If there's anyone out there listening who are so inclined, over to you. And thank you very much for your kindness. Barbara Horton says, Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon to you and your listeners all over the world. I hope you and family are well and the storm didn't do much damage to your home. I am here giving God thanks for one more day. Still missing my son. Some days are very hard. Take care. God bless you. I can only imagine. Bless you too, Barbara Horton. Blessings to you. Thank you for sharing, the circumstances notwithstanding. And this one will perhaps give you this message after the break, which is coming up in a matter of seconds here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And we'll continue to take your calls on 876-922-4112-5. And the text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Let's get ready for another break right now here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. And then we'll come back with much more in just a moment.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30. How much do you know about spices and the impact they have on your everyday life? Join us every first and third Thursday during Farm Talk with Althea McKenzie at 6:18 a.m. for Spice Up Jamaica. We'll give you tips, tidbits, and interviews about the revitalization and sustainability of the Jamaican spices, including ginger, turmeric, and pimento. That's Spice Up Jamaica every first and third Thursday at 6:18 a.m. during Farm Talk with Althea McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM. Spice Up Jamaica is brought to you by the U.S. Department of Agriculture Food for Progress Jamaica Spices Project.
We must leave us war, because two wrongs can never make a right. Look into the age that we're living in today, brothers. Look into the age that we're living in today, sisters. So come along, brothers, and come along, sisters. UNITY is unity. So come along, brothers and sisters. Oh, oh.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. I'm Dervan Malcolm. We have a couple more messages, but we'll go straight to the calls. First, 876-922-4112-5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Hello, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. It is Dervan calling.
Who?
Dervan.
Vervine. Good afternoon,
Yes,
Vervine.
Yeah. You want to see, I observed something, you know.
What's that?
You see, the public service and all them man, they plan a thing with the Desmond McKenzie, set a man them.
Really?
They know that the storm when come. And people are report the post them where I drop down and they broke out post them and all kind of things with the post them. And you treat them over the light, the wire them. And them not plan to cut them because they want the storm to blow them down.
But they have been cutting them, not just since the hurricane. Before the hurricane, they were cutting the trees.
Yeah, like they used to do it, but them stop in them time there because them make a plan to charge the people and the post, broke down post and the wire and them thing there.
No, well, that has not happened.
Yeah, where we have to go pay all of them things when them I hear them have them plan there from time to time. So when them anything happen to the wire, them are the citizens have to pay foot the bill.
No, I don't know. I don't know of that. Sorry. Go ahead.
And again, them I hear them come with some truck, and I hear them say them going clear off the old car them from the roadside and things. But I feel them should buy back the people them metal, you know. Because what them how do with it? Sell it, or which part them how dump it. Them should buy back the people them metal, them can't just go take stuff so. And them should them.
Which metal are they taking up?
The old cars with them plan to take up on the roadside and people them.
So you think those should be allowed to stay out there on the street?
No man, them should buy it from them.
Oh.
Yeah, them can't be alright, them might take it up, what them how do with it?
The chances are they're going to be crushed.
Yeah, and sell. And the people who buy them things are now get nothing out of it. You see? So they should buy the people in metal. And which part them all store them. Because the other day near them I tell the people them tell them to come for them car with them have park at the pound. So I was watching I go on to Malcolm, we have to look into them things there, you know. And I want to tell you something more you see. I see so. You see from I see them from anybody, you see the organization really all in and take up them rain. Them always change them ways or them used to talk. Like them afraid and get afraid of them now and them can't talk something with them used to talk. You know? Because reality.
Well, in a lot of in a lot of places all over the world, for whatever reason, there are people who are known for taking up certain positions and acting accordingly. And in some instances, where their position changes, then naturally the output would reveal itself as having been changed as well.
Yeah, because right now, Bob Sang come to me, them hiding from reality in a world of hypocrisy. So that I want to know, we have to face reality. If you are going, you know, if we not face reality, nothing good, the good now will come out. Because we are hide from it. And we are take it and hide it under carpet. You know? So we have to show up the good and don't hide it. You know, we can't hide it. Because no care how much, I tell them all while, say, no care how much time you give us to make honey, you will never make it. I mean, so no care how much I say, I put you up himself and I go and like, and I say, oh, Lord, we make it, man, and go and I go on somewhere. You never make that more time. If you want time and you want time and now you no time to show him, say, well, right now, the time where you get, you just can't make it not so lazy. You want more time. And we can't get no time from him. So that's the thing we have to understand and know, say, what can make money.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, so Only power of Dervan, Mr. Malcolm. But we can't hide from reality.
Mm-hmm.
So, a blessing and glory to you and everyone here.
Blessings to you and yours as well.
Yes, right.
All right, take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Malcolm,
Yes.
the whole thing, the way it matter, I mean, I'm not telling you from mine, but a long time they pick up the whole thing, the people are booking foot on a sidewalk, and they need to go and make the people have the garbage at their outside and have a massacre. They need to get the people and get all their garbage.
Mm-hmm.
The garbage truck come, but like 2 weeks, we're partly living at this year. I'm not different at that thing.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is that the garbage truck come, and as it come up on the road, you can smell it. Anywhere part of it, you could have smelled. The stinking water, then let go on the road, Mr. Malcolm, it stink. The whole place stink up all this morning, the road stink, and I used to come over to it. It come up here with the stinking water, and I chop. Why they won't get up? Nobody can talk to me about shortage of water. Because we get rain over a week, day and night. So there's no shortage of water, and if the truck them just stay in the water, in the rain. So then I wash the truck them. We truck them with a wash out. Why they have to come? You're glad and you're sorry. You're glad that garbage truck come pick up the garbage. But you're sorry so then come and let it enter on the road. A tear flies all over the place now because the garbage truck come and let out the stinking water on the road, stink up the whole place. Why they have to behave like that, sir?
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's part of a culture. A culture is a way of life. And if people are accustomed to doing things a particular way, whether because they were not taught otherwise, then it will manifest as it has.
Anywhere then take up the stinking water and I got it, other than to let you out. They can't try to come to people community come think up and now take the place because I don't hear so then come with it. They come get it. They come in here so with it. You understand?
Yes.
And carry stinking water running like river on the road. We never see stinking water run out of garbage truck. I never was so much could have hole in our garbage truck. Run it out and the hook, the bleach, and the place stink same way. Whole night into this man and the place stink. Huh? Then the guards and the people they were let out the water, man. People shot and sue them. Then anyway you get it because you have to pick up your garbage and have your garbage clean. And they say, boy, the bottom of the drum. That them say.
And we have to be careful of the storage of water because if
you have the water, I'm not insecure with that back. This man up here flies the water. Right now, we have to light something outside to around the flies then. From the garbage
it's not just flies. Remember the mosquitoes.
Yes. Yes. I go around my house and I deal with any little thing where they could have a mosquito. Because we know the oil can't use. We have to spray or whatever. We have to have our own responsibility. But the garbage truck can't come and stink up the place. You come and you never smell the place, so you're going to let it stink.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of system that, man?
Have you said anything to the councillor or the mayor or any other representative in that area?
Mr. Mackenzie, you always ask about, say, you only when election you go and vote, but you don't know those people because they don't come to you and make you know that you're on your own where that is concerned. But I am talking about the garbage man. They can't come and let out the stinking water from people. You don't know which part council is to go or then whatever to go report anything. But you need you just not want the place stink up for the unhealthy thing we can't live in.
Mm-hmm.
Me never know so much stinking water could have run out of one truck. But all the while then coming up and the water run out of the truck at this time. It's like a river come down.
Mm-hmm.
I feel pleased for that, man.
Yeah, we're sorry to hear about your situation.
Yes, and the people them who get the damage from the hurricane and some heart goes out for them.
Mm-hmm.
I never get much damage. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
They need a fund, a hurricane fund, because we're in a hurricane season, and not every year. So they need a fund to can deal with them someday. What do you think about that?
It will all boil down to how it is managed. If it's properly managed, more power to you. If not,
But
then
they just have a fund, they think it's a year. We have the disaster thing every year. We don't must get a hurricane every year, but we're supposed to have that one and have somebody competent. Now the people that must power hungry and the people that were greedy to go eat out with us. Every year you have something. I have some people honest in charge of it. We're not talking about private sector and people them. Our people them are politicians. You have people who are honest and who will have it in and take it enrich themselves and their family and friends. So that me say go on. And when hurricane lick also, they won't have to be running up and down because we don't have that in place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it's always worth considering. Nothing is wrong with giving some level of consideration to proposals and suggestions.
Yes.
Mm.
So anyway, take care now.
You too.
The garbage people need to do better. We can't have this stinking water and come up in our community when we are talking about safety and disease. And it come up. I tell you when they say, I have to lock my door then. When you lock the door, the scent come inside, stink.
Mm-hmm.
They have to do better than that, man. Better than that. Yeah. All right, Mr. Malcolm, take care.
Okay. You too. Bye-bye. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. And the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. And we now break from the program for another period of time, and we're going to resume in just a moment as we take a break here on Both Sides of the Story.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45. Here is a financial literacy tip from your friends at Power 106 FM. Cut back on recurring charges. Do you subscribe to services you never use? It's easy to forget about monthly subscriptions to streaming services and mobile apps that charge your bank account, even when you're not regularly using these services. Review your spending for charges like these and consider canceling unnecessary subscriptions to hold on to more money each month.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. And let's see what we have here. Franklin McDonald says, sorry to intervene again with a lady complaining about stinking water or stink water. Can you meet us or make us a call? Is that it? Can you? The Paris Health Department, the complaint she has is one that the public health inspector can deal with right away. Please suggest to her she looks up the Paris Health Department and, or not even Paris. It's saying Paris with two R's, but what she really means is parish. That's the thing with the typos. But anyway, we're trying. Please suggest to her she looks up the Parish Health Department and they will come and deal with it. It's a local government issue, but not in the hands of the councillors, in the hands of the health inspectors or health inspector and the existing parish. And very responsive. Okay, Mr. McDonald, thank you very much for your message. And let's see, who else did we miss, or who did we miss? Is that it? I think we have covered most, if not all, of the messages so far. Thank you very much. Oh, this one. Oh, we have this one that says, "Hi, Mr. Malcolm. I listened to Neville speaking to Dr. Gale earlier today on the same topic. He just called you on just now. Couldn't he give the airtime on your program to someone else to discuss another topic? A lot of listeners just can't get on air to speak to you in the days. We need to be more considerate in how we use programs like yours." And this is from Angie in Kingston. And she also says, "May I remind him of Dr. Gale telling him of the increase in crime, suicides, etc. after those countries went cashless? I noticed he did not mention that." Okay. Thank you for your message, Angie in Kingston. And keep those messages coming in. Let's see who else we have here. Donovan Campbell says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Thank God for life, that he has kept us through the hurricane." Steve Barnes says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. What's happening? I'm listening into the program. Why all sound so worked up? That is needed, done in Jamaica, must be done by us. What is needed to do in Jamaica must be done by us, citizens, giving law enforcement info, improving our community, encouraging the young, etc., should be by us as Jamaicans. No way out. If we need a better nation, you are an inspiration, Mr. Malcolm. Bless. You're very kind, Stephen Barnes. And Anne Jack says, "Greetings, Dervan. Happy to hear you, Neville Carter." All right, so we have cleared those messages. Let's see if we're missing any other messages here on both sides of the story. Para 106 FM. And let's see. All right, looks like we have covered our bases, and we still have a little time, 10 minutes to go before we wrap up today's edition of Both Sides of the Story, Para 106 FM. Here's your opportunity to get in a thought, an idea, an issue, a question, etc. 876-922-4112-5. 876-922-4112-5. That's a regular call-in line. The text line is the same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. 876-365-3346. Albert in Coconut Creek, Florida, says, "Master Dervan, good afternoon to all Jamaicans who suffered from the hurricane. My sympathies to you. Everyone's pain is unique. However, looking on the aftermath of Beryl in Texas, we have so much to be thankful for in terms of the destruction there from a Category 1 direct hit. I can't imagine if the eye had gotten closer." And he goes on to say, well, he wanted us to increase the volume, which we eventually did. Norman Hines from St. Thomas is also on board. Welcome, Norman Hines. Belter Wilson, good afternoon to you. Always good to have you on board both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. Natalie Winter, watching from Washington Gardens. Thank you very much, Natalie, for your input, and all the others who have been calling in and sending messages and making comments, etc. Thank you very much. Your input is appreciated, and we trust that you will continue to share your thoughts, your ideas, your questions, your suggestions right here on both sides of the story, Power 106 FM. And as we said, we still have just a few minutes, less than 8 minutes to go for today's edition of both sides of the story. And we trust today was a better day for you than was yesterday. And we hope tomorrow will be even better as we go out to pursue our respective positions. So we thank you very much, as usual, to the team behind the scenes for their role, Chandel Forbes and Davin Thomas, and who else was here as well. Thank you very much. And we want to thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM for today, Tuesday, the 9th of July, 2024. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story will return tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
So come along, brothers, and come along, sisters. You and I is unity. So come along, brothers and sisters. You must leave us war, because two wrongs can never make a right. Look into the age that we're living in today, brothers. Look into the age that we're living in today, sisters. So come along, brothers, and come along, sisters. UNITY is unity. So come along, brothers and sisters. This is the time that we all should live as one, brothers. This is the time that we all should live as one, sisters. So come along, brothers.
brothers and sisters. We must leave us war, because two wrongs can never make a right. So look into the age that we're living in today, brothers. Look into the age that we're living in today, sisters. So come along, brothers, and come along, sisters. UNITY is unity. So come along, brothers and sisters. Look into the age that we're living in today, brothers. Look into the age that we're living in today, sisters. So come along, brothers, and come along, sisters. UNITY is unity. UNITY is unity. UNITY is unity. UNITY is unity. UNITY is unity.
Power 106 FM, the digital sound, and now reaching you in more ways. Listen to us on 106.1 to 106.9 on the FM band. You can also listen to us on the Power 106 FM app, which you can download on the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. You can tune in on your mobile phones by dialing 631-359-8281 if you're in the US. And if you're in the UK, you can dial 0330-606-0953. Plus, listen to us on onespotmedia.com and the One Spot Media app, or log on to go-jamaica.com. Power 106 FM, where all views can contend, giving you powerful talk radio in so many ways, on air and online.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible. Power 106 FM now presents a simulcast of Radio Jamaica's news at 5.